This is my 200th vlog. I am grateful, I am astounded, but I'm also kind of disappointed and maybe a little sad and melancholic about it. If I had known this was gonna happen, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. I thought it'd be fun to come to the beach to film this video. Shaman is like one of the most sunny and tropical locations I've ever lived. Today, when I want to make a video, it decides to be overcast and a little chilly. So, such is life. Now let's go over some facts. 200 videos. Although honestly, it's been more than 200. You know, I make a individual numbered beginning of all my videos, film like 10 of them at a time. So I have a little stash to use. And to be honest, I've definitely messed up the numbers on more than one occasion. I've used the same numbers 2 times in a row, or I skip a number. So actually there's 210 videos, plus there are more than a dozen live stream videos that are not included in this, but let's just say 200. So 200 videos in just about exactly 4 years. My first video was September 2018, and this is now November 2022. So almost exactly 4 years, 200 videos. But the interesting thing is my first 100 videos were completed in 1 year and 3 months, while my second 100 videos were completed in almost 3 years. What accounts for that huge change? If you're even a casual viewer of my videos, I think you'll know the answer. I got sick. I was born with a genetic disorder. I was diagnosed in my 20s. In most of my life, to be honest, it wasn't that big a deal. Every 5 to 10 years, I would have some issue, go to the doctor, you know, have a week of medical tests, and then it would just somehow resolve itself, and I wouldn't really think about it that much. So when 3 months after I started this YouTube channel, I ended up in the hospital, I wasn't actually that concerned. I made a video about me in the hospital and how I felt about it all. Thanks for ruining my shot, buddy. Even at the end of the video, I'm like, you know, genetic disorder, like you're gonna get me one day, but you know, that day is not today. And I see like now how I didn't take it serious, or I wasn't really too worried about it. But my genetic disorder was like, oh really? You know, hold my beer. And for the next almost 4 years, I mean, until now, it was just has wrecked my life. Kind of took away my dreams, kind of took away my passions, took away the ability for me to do a lot of things, including playing badminton at times, and for sure improving at badminton. So over the past few years, like I've gone from being a good player who was a rising star to a disappointment. You know, like I was guaranteed at least 5th place, if not 2nd or 3rd place in every competition that I played. I was kind of known as, you know, always improving. Even the umpires were telling me like how much I had improved since they saw me last. And then it all kind of stopped, and it started to reverse itself because, you know, I got weaker, and badminton is a physical sport. So I couldn't continue training, and I couldn't play to the best of my ability because I didn't have any strength. So I very publicly, like here in the local community, had a big downgrade, and it's kind of embarrassing because they don't even know why. It's not like I tell all these people that I'm like acquainted with, that I play badminton with, like, hey, I have a genetic disorder and I'm dealing with it right now. Like, they have no idea. So they just think like I suck. I had all this potential and then I just sucked. Think about it. Like, not only was I kind of embarrassed, feeling embarrassed and embarrassing myself in front of my badminton community here and my coach and all my friends and everyone I knew, I was broadcasting it on YouTube and I was embarrassing myself to the entire world. And not just embarrassing myself, but like, I edit these videos. I watch this footage. I had to painfully for hours every week just watch myself digress. I had to watch myself gain weight. I had to watch myself lose against people that I used to beat easily. I had to watch myself suffer. That was almost even more painful than just in my small community. It was like I was broadcasting it to the world and I was like super reinforcing, and I was just kind of forced to I couldn't even ignore the situation. I couldn't be like, well, it's okay, I'll do better next time. It was like, no, I was editing myself and clearly could see just like how poorly everything was going. And I knew that I was uploading it for the world to see. And while the videos are just showing like a topic, also don't forget that like I remember how I was feeling and I don't talk about it in all the videos. I just film whatever the topic is. But I remember some of the videos I felt so terrible. The air badminton video when I played on the beach to try it out. I will never ever watch that video because that day I felt so weak and so tired. When we bought the shuttles, we actually went to a cafe to sit down because I was too tired. I was too exhausted from just buying the shuttles. And if walking on the street is tiring, walking on sand is 100 times more tiring. And not only were we walking, we were trying to play air badminton and it was flying all over the place. And that whole day just sucked. And I just remember being so tired and just being unable to do something simple like take a walk on a beach. I really don't want to ever watch that video again. It makes me remember the way I felt, and I felt so terrible. I'm not the only one making a video at the beach. There's all these guys. There are also one guy's doing he's doing some dancing video. The other guys are doing some talking videos. It's a very popular beach. It is very beautiful, so it is the perfect place to make a video. And this was the time that I did regret starting a YouTube channel, because I am one of those people, like, I make a commitment. Even though I was sick, and even though I was playing so bad, and even though it was incredibly embarrassing, I still had to make these videos because I made a promise to you. I made a promise to myself. And I'm the kind of person that, like, once I decide to do something, I totally do it, irregardless of the results or irregardless of anything. I just continue with it. So throughout it all, I made a lot less videos. That's why in 1 year, I made 100 videos when I was doing pretty good. And then it took me 3 years to make the next 100 videos. Even though it's my own responsibility, and even though, it was my own imposed deadlines, I kind of, at that point, wish I didn't start a YouTube channel so I didn't have that pressure that I put on myself. But I am an optimistic person by nature, and I think you can tell I am genuinely a pretty, happy, positive person. And at no point did I ever think like, oh, this is it, this is my life, like nothing's ever gonna get better. In fact, quite the opposite. Every week I'm like, well, this is my low point. Next week's gonna be better. Next week's gonna be better. For the past almost 4 years, I'm always like, okay, this is my low point. I'm going to start improving next week. I'm going to pick up the narrative where I left off. Like, it's going to happen. It hasn't so far. Here I am years later, and I still, sometimes I'm doing great. Sometimes I'm doing poor. Like there's no leveling out, and there's no chance of me to ever actually improve, but I still think I can. So that's what's kind of been keeping me to doing these videos, because I'm like, that was my low point. Next week is going to be better. And then next week I'm even worse or bad or whatever. And then I'm like, no, that was my low point. Okay, next week is going to be good. That's the kind of mindset that's kept me making these videos, even when they're embarrassing and I don't want to. sun still peeking through the clouds, but look. Ooh, that's some dark storm clouds are coming. I should wrap up quick. And so while I thought I was documenting I always considered it like my Rocky montage. You know, I would kind of be documenting my rise from like intermediate player to top player in my city. I've ended up documenting the life of a perfect failure. And I know, like, you know, it's extenuating circumstances. It's out of my hands. It's not because I'm not trying. It's other issues, but I've still managed to, you know, faithfully document week after week, kind of me failing, sometimes succeeding, but mostly failing. I mean, take for example, like this literal vlog. Like, you know, I have 5,000 subscribers, which is amazing, and I am so grateful, and I never expected that. But for a vlog on YouTube, 5,000 subscribers is not that much, especially after 4 years. So, like, you know, I don't even have the excuse of like, oh, my millions of fans are waiting for me to hear about my thoughts again. Like, if I stop making these videos, I'm not gonna get a lot of comments. I might get like one Facebook message that's like, hey, are you making videos anymore? And I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, okay, bummer. Like, you know, like, I'm basically a failure at YouTube as well. But I'm not sure that I care about any of that. Failing is a big part of life. We know there's a ton of like inspirational quotes about not failing. I like to like collect some quotes, and I've collected quotes over the years. Thomas Edison, I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Or Chris Bradford said, there's no failure except for no longer trying. There's another quote by Chris Hardwick that says, no human ever became interesting by not failing. And Winston Churchill, you know, he has a ton of great quotes about failure, including success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. By those quotes, I'm the most successful person on the planet. I'm more successful than Victor Axelsen and Lin Dan and Tai Ziyin and all of these #1 players, because I have not had success. I have just had failure from failure to failure, but then I haven't given up. I still have enthusiasm. I've never been one that's been like validated by other people's feelings about me. I mean, I think you can tell I'm pretty simple. You know, I never wear makeup. You know, my clothes are just very cheap, very old clothes. I've always gotten validation from like things that I do and things that I feel proud about. Recently, someone asked me like, who's the most successful person you know? And this might sound egotistical, but I was like, me. Because my life, I built my life exactly how I want to. Even though I can't control things like me being sick, I still, you know, have a passion for badminton in my late 40s. And I still follow that passion, you know? I still have a passion for writing, and I do writing even though I'm not famous, even though I'm not monetarily successful. And I don't have a super passion for doing these videos, but I love what's come out of these videos. I love the community, and I love the conversations, and I've met so many amazing people. I feel like I am doing exactly what I want to do, and I don't know that other people are. You know, some maybe more stereotypical successful people, I don't know how they actually feel on the inside. Me, I really admire Jim Henson, and I think he was a huge success in his life. But I also know that he wanted to create things for adults, and he felt pigeonholed into making the Muppets for children. So I don't know if he actually felt like he was a success, or if he felt like he was a failure at what his real dream was. So I only know me. And I know that even though my life is quite small, and on the outside it looks very unsuccessful, it looks like all I do is fail, 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 I actually am doing exactly what I want to do. And that makes me feel really satisfied and really successful. And while sometimes making some of these videos was kind of annoying because I was so tired and you know, I hated seeing myself getting out of shape and playing poorly, I'm actually really glad now that I have all these videos, because I really like to watch them. Some of the videos, you know, I won't watch because I just remember how terrible I felt, but other videos I love to watch. And some of my favorite videos are like the least popular videos on this channel. Literally, my all-time favorite video is me and Aja when we did playing badminton at the trampoline park. I love that video, and I've watched it a lot because it just cheers me up and it makes me happy for a few minutes, kind of remembering like the fun stuff I've done. And also seeing some of the people that were in my old videos that I don't see anymore. It's such a big, vibrant badminton community here. People come and go, and you could play with someone for like 2-3 years and then suddenly they move or they get a job or they have a kid and they stop coming, and you kind of don't even notice because your life goes on. And then you watch an old video and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that guy. Where is that guy? This has been, you know, kind of a fun way for me to watch my life and cheer me up, especially when I can't play badminton or was too weak to play badminton, or, you know, when I'm feeling sad at some of my failures, I can still kind of look back. And even though the past 3+ years I've been really sick, I've had some great times, and I think if I didn't have these videos to remind me, I wouldn't remember. We remember the bad stuff. We tend to forget the good stuff. I'm glad that I can remember the good times, and not even successes, but just good times playing with people in clubs and having fun and seeing friends that I really liked. So 200 videos down. When will I get to 300? Who knows? At this rate, it'll be 2025 and I'll be almost 50 at that point. You guys have been really nice in your comments, and I know that I don't deserve some of the compliments that you guys give me. And it's really nice to have people, you know, that don't know me in my life still encouraging me, like even knowing my level and even knowing, like, watching my games and seeing me play just so. Like, it is still really nice. So thank you for that. You know, we'll see what happens. That's the thing about a vlog. Like, I can't plan it. If I planned it, I would have planned something totally different. But life is what it is. My life is what it is, and you just have to accept it and just take it and keep on keeping on, because the one thing, sometimes I've lost my ability to play, sometimes I've lost my excitement to play, but I've never lost my passion to play. I'll keep doing it, even if no one's watching these videos, to be honest. So that's it. I hope my ramblings today in this beautiful shaman day, okay, not beautiful, but it's still a beautiful location. And, you know, thank you for watching my 200th video. Woo, 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 woo. See you at 300. All right. See you guys next time on the court. Bye.